Greystone, Colorado Territory, spring of 1882. The town was small enough that everybody knew your business before you did. 300 souls, one main road, and a bakery at the far end of it, house number 22, where Eleanor Baker had been getting up at 2 in the morning for 14 years without anybody asking her to. She was 42 years old. She had never been married. Not for lack of wanting, not for lack of asking. In 20 years, 31 men had come to Eleanor with their hats in their hands and their best intentions on their faces. 31. She had offered each one tea, listened to each one out, and turned each one down on the same condition, stated plainly, without apology, "You are not 22 years old." Greystone found this charming for the first year, bewildering for the second. By the third, people had simply accepted it the way they accepted most things about Eleanor, quietly, without agreement. She was not hard to look at. That much everyone admitted. Dark-haired, steady-eyed, the kind of woman who carried herself like she'd decided something long ago and had never had reason to undo it. The bakery was always clean, the bread was always good, and Eleanor was always there, before the sun, after it, the fixed point around which the rest of Greystone arranged its mornings. But 22? That nobody understood. Eleanor had reasons. She had been born on the 22nd of April. Her mother used to say that the rains, which were late all spring, they arrived the very night Eleanor was born, as if the world had been waiting too. Eleanor had been 7 when she first heard that. She had never quite stopped thinking about it. House number 22 had been her grandfather's. He'd built it himself on the plot he'd won in the original town survey, number 22. When Eleanor's father died, and then her mother last winter, the house was all that was left of them. She had stood at the door the morning after the funeral and seen those brass numbers above the frame as if for the first time. 22. 3 years ago, on a dare, because she was not a gambling woman, Eleanor had bought a single lottery ticket. The draw was a Tuesday afternoon. She was up to her elbows in dough when the boy came running. Ticket number 22 had won. The prize was a half-acre plot at the edge of town. She didn't need land. She took it. She dug a well on that land the following spring. Her neighbors had gone 30 feet into the earth and found nothing. 40 feet, still nothing. Eleanor's well hit water at exactly 22 feet. That well kept her bakery running through 2 dry summers when the creek ran thin as a whisper and half the town was hauling water from miles out. At the bottom of that well, caught in the last bucket before she capped it, was a small silver coin, round, worn smooth, stamped on one face clear as the day it was struck, 22. Eleanor put it in her coat pocket the day she found it. She had not taken it out since, except once. A pistol had gone off in the market square, the kind of argument that happens when men have too much time and too little sense. The ball struck something in Eleanor's left coat pocket and dropped to the dust at her feet. She stood very still, then reached in. The silver coin had a fresh dent, right through the 22. After that, nobody in Greystone argued with Eleanor about lucky numbers. There were smaller things too. The fever that always broke on the 22nd. The dog gone missing for 3 weeks, who came home scratching at the door on a 22nd, like he'd never left. The count she kept without meaning to. Her best sales days, month after month, falling on the same date. 31 proposals, 20 years, and not one man who was 22. By the spring of 1882, most of Greystone had reached the same quiet conclusion. Eleanor Baker's rule was going to outlast Eleanor Baker's chances. She was starting to think they might be right. If this is the kind of story you like to settle into, a cup of something warm, a woman who's been waiting 20 years for the right number, leave a comment and tell me what town you're listening from. I read every one, and if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a good time. There's more where this came from. The 15th of April, 1882, was a Tuesday. Eleanor had spent the afternoon doing what she did every slow Tuesday, tallying accounts, wiping down shelves, watching the main road through the front window without admitting she was watching it. Her parents were both gone now. The house was quieter than she had ever known a house could be. That evening, for the first time in 20 years, she made a decision. She would let it go. The rule, the number, the waiting. She would find a decent man, it didn't matter how old he was, and she would stop counting. She was 42. She was alone, and the house at the end of the road had begun to feel too large for one person. She had just set down her pen when the bell above the bakery door rang. He was young. That was the first thing she noticed. Young and easy in his own skin, the way men only are when the town already likes them and they know it. He came in with the settled confidence of someone who has never had to work for a good reception, looked around the bakery once, and asked if she had anything for a birthday. Eleanor asked whose birthday. A friend's, he said. Well, 2 friends, he smiled. Twins, sort of. Not really. It's a long story. Eleanor did not ask for the long story. She put 2 cupcakes on the counter, her best, the ones with the cardamom and the edge of chicory underneath the sweetness, the ones she made only when she felt the day deserved something honest. How much? He said. Nothing, said Eleanor. And then, before she could stop herself, when's the birthday? 18th, he said, this Thursday. And how old will they be? 20. He tucked the box under his arm. Why? Eleanor said it was nothing. She told him he was welcome to come by for free cupcakes anytime. He thanked her, said his name was Caleb, and left. She stood at the counter for a long time after the bell had gone quiet. 20. In 2 years, he would be 22. She had told herself she was letting the rule go. She told herself that again now. She did not let it go. Caleb came on the 19th, and the 21st, and every day after that. He was always on time, early sometimes, which Eleanor had not expected. He would come in, say something pleasant, collect his 2 cupcakes, and leave. He always praised them. Always something specific, the cardamom, the texture, the way the sweetness wasn't too much. Eleanor began to think Caleb was a young man of genuine taste. She began to look forward to the bell above the door. What she did not know, what she had no reason to know, was what happened after Caleb left. He walked 2 streets east to the house where his sweetheart lived. Her name was Abby. She was Wesley's sister. Wesley, the quiet man who had been Caleb's closest friend since boyhood. Wesley was 20 years old and had no strong interest in anything the town considered interesting, except food. He took food seriously. He had opinions about bread that most men reserve for land deals. On the second evening, Caleb had come home with only 1 cupcake. Wesley had eaten the first off Caleb's plate before Caleb could stop him, and then sat very still. Who made this? Wesley said. Someone, said Caleb. A woman in town? Yes. Wesley looked at the cupcake. She bakes like she means it. After that, Wesley's cupcake was non-negotiable. What Wesley noticed, and he would not have put it this way, was the honest, bitter edge underneath the sweet. Most bakers made things easy. This baker made things real. He began to think about the woman behind the cupcake the way you think about something you cannot explain. Slowly at first, then all at once. He asked Caleb about her every few weeks. Caleb deflected every time. I'll tell you when the time is right. It was not a cruel answer. Caleb was not a cruel man. He had a plan, and the plan was not ready. Abby's father did not approve of the match. There were complications, negotiations, a family that needed time. Caleb was careful. He was patient. He did what patient men do. He waited, and he kept coming back. And meanwhile, Eleanor baked. She had stopped pretending she was not waiting. She was waiting. 2 years. That was the distance between Caleb now and the number she needed. 2 years of daily visits. 2 years of being the fixed point a man returned to every single day. By the time Caleb turned 22, it would feel natural. She told herself it was simply a matter of time. She began to trust him with things she had not told anyone else. The 15 Sundays she went to visit Martha, her sister in a town 2 hours east, who had no children and too much quiet in her life. Every last Sunday of the month, Eleanor went. She had not told a soul in Greystone. She told Caleb. She showed him the locked room, the small bedroom at the back of house number 22 that she kept shut. Inside was her mother's wedding suit, folded in tissue, untouched since the day her mother had put it there with her own hands. Eleanor intended to open that room on her own wedding day. She had not told anyone. She told Caleb. She told him about the chicory and the cupcakes. She told him where the silver coin lived, in a tin box beneath the counter, not in her pocket where people assumed. She told him about the birds. Every morning before sunrise, before anyone in Greystone was awake, Eleanor put grain out on the side step for the birds. She had done it for years. The town had a small unsolved mystery. Who fed the birds before dawn? No one had ever connected it to Eleanor. No one except Caleb. She was building something, she told herself. She was sure of it. She was building exactly the wrong thing for exactly the wrong person. But she didn't know that yet. 2 years. 2 years of mornings and that bell above the door. If you're still with me, good. Leave a comment and tell me what town you're listening from tonight. And if someone you know would settle in for a story like this, send it to them. Now let's keep going. By April of 1884, Greystone had grown so used to seeing Caleb at Eleanor's bakery that no one remarked on it anymore. It was simply part of the town's rhythm, like the mail coach on Wednesdays, or the way the creek ran loud in spring. Eleanor marked the days quietly, 10 days to Caleb's birthday, then 7, then 5. She did not tell anyone what she was counting toward. She didn't need to. The mornings were lighter. She moved through the bakery with the particular ease of someone who believes, after a long time of waiting, that the ground beneath them is finally firm. Then Caleb did not come. On a Thursday, 5 days before his birthday, he wasn't there at the usual time. Eleanor told herself he was running late. He had been early every day for 2 years. He was allowed to be late once. She kept the cupcakes warm. He didn't come Friday or Saturday. On Sunday, she went to visit Martha. The last Sunday of the month, same as always. Martha made tea. They talked about small things. Eleanor did not mention Caleb because she still believed he would explain when he returned. She was Eleanor Baker. She did not panic. She kept the oven going and she waited. Monday, Tuesday. By Wednesday, she knew something had changed. She heard it the way you hear most things in a small town. Sideways, from a distance, through someone else's conversation that wasn't meant for her ears. Caleb had left Greystone. He and a young woman. Nobody knew exactly when. The young woman was Abby, the daughter of a family 2 streets east. Abby. Eleanor stood in the middle of the bakery and did not move for a long time. She thought about 2 years of mornings, about the bell above the door, about 31 proposals and a rule she had almost abandoned on a Tuesday evening in April, and a young man who had walked in at exactly the right moment and said exactly the right things. She went to the back of the bakery and finished the day's baking. She did not cry. That is not the same as being fine. Eleanor marked the 22nd the way she had marked it her whole life, quietly and with certainty. Whatever had happened with Caleb, the 22nd was still the 22nd. She had 30 years of proof. The fever broke on the 22nd. The coin, the quan, the dog, the sales. Everything she had ever trusted had come back to her on this date. She was not ready to stop trusting it. She made the best cupcake she had ever made. She did not let herself think too carefully about who it was for. She made it because she was Eleanor Baker, and she made things with care, especially when she was tired, especially when she needed to remember who she was. She set it on the counter at 7 in the morning, and she waited. The bell above the door rang at 7:30. She turned around. It was not Caleb. He was about the same age, maybe a year younger, maybe the same. She had seen him before, she thought, the way you've seen everyone in a town this size. across a street, at the edge of some gathering, but she couldn't have named him. He was not the kind of man you named on sight. He was quiet in the particular way that some men are quiet, not from shyness, but from genuine disinterest in making noise. He looked at the cupcake on the counter. "Is that taken?" Eleanor said it wasn't. He bought it. Then he stood in the middle of the bakery and did not leave. He looked at Eleanor the way a man looks at someone he has thought about for a long time and is still not sure how to begin. "My name is Wesley," he said. "I think I owe you an explanation, if you'll let me." Eleanor said nothing. She had received 31 proposals in 20 years. She recognized the shape of what was coming. "Go ahead," she said. He didn't start with the proposal. He started with the cupcakes. For 2 years, he said, Caleb had brought him one every evening, always from this bakery, always with that particular finish, the one that wasn't quite sweet all the way through, the one that tasted like someone had decided honesty mattered more than easy. He had asked Caleb every few weeks who made them. Caleb always said, "A sweetheart woman, a very fine baker," he would explain at the right time. The right time had come 11 days ago, when Caleb appeared at Wesley's door to say he was leaving Greystone with Abby, Wesley's sister. They had been in love for 2 years. The family had finally run out of patience with waiting, and they were going, and they were sorry for the short notice. Wesley had asked him then, standing in the doorway, bags already at the gate, the cupcakes, who made them? Caleb told him. He gave him the name, the address, the house number, and then he said one more thing. "Wait until the 22nd. Go on the 22nd. Trust me." Wesley had not understood why. He did not understand why now, but he had come. Eleanor said nothing. She was listening. Wesley told her about the last Sundays, 15 of them over 2 years. 15 evenings when the cupcake hadn't come. He had wondered, eventually asked Caleb, and Caleb had said she went to visit a sister. Another town, a sister with no children. Eleanor's hands were still on the counter. He told her about the birds. He had been walking past the bakery very early one morning, too early for most people, and seen her. He had not said anything. He had not told anyone, but he had thought about it, the way he thought about the cupcakes, as evidence of someone who did quiet things carefully and without needing to be seen doing them. He told her about the locked room. He told her about the suit. He told her where the coin was. Eleanor looked at the counter for a long moment. In 31 proposals, not one man had known a single true thing about her. This man, who had been eating her cupcakes 2 streets away for 2 years, whose face she had not known, who she had never spoken to, had just named 5. Wesley was still talking. He was saying he understood if the answer was no. He was not asking her to decide anything she did not want to decide. He only wanted her to know. "Yes," said Eleanor. He stopped. "Yes," she said again, plainly, the way she said most things. 31 proposals. She had turned down every one of them because the number was wrong. The number today was right. That was enough. That was all it had ever needed to be. Wesley looked at her for a moment. Then something in his face shifted, something quiet and surprised and almost undone. "Today is my birthday," he said. Eleanor waited. "I am 22 years old today." Eleanor Baker stood very still. Then she laughed. Not a polite laugh, not the kind you produce to fill a silence. A real one, surprised out of her, the way real laughter always is. She put her hand on the counter and laughed until her eyes were wet. And Wesley stood across from her with the expression of a man who has said something he did not know was funny. She composed herself. She looked at him. "Sit down," she said. "I will explain in a moment, but first, would you like another cupcake?" He said, "Yes." He always said yes. She put the good one in front of him, the one she had made that morning, without knowing why she was making it or who it was for. He ate it the way he ate everything, with complete attention, like someone who understood that good things deserve to be taken seriously. No rush, no performance, Just a man eating a cupcake like it mattered. Eleanor watched him and told him about the 22. All of it. The birthday in April, the house, the coin found at the bottom of the well, the Quan that gave water where nobody else's did, the goalie that struck the silver and fell quiet, the fever, the dog. 20 years of proposals and one condition. The rule she had almost abandoned on a Tuesday evening in April 1882. And the young man who had walked in that same evening and said, "My friend turns 20 this Thursday." 2 years, she said. 2 years she had been waiting for Caleb to turn 22. Wesley listened to all of it. He did not interrupt. He finished the cupcake. Then he was quiet for a moment. "He told me to come on the 22nd, he said." "He knew," said Eleanor. "He knew about the 22. He knew." Wesley looked at the counter. Something was working through him quietly, all the small pieces settling into place. "I didn't know," he said, "about the 22, any of it. I came because he told me to, and because," he paused, "because for 2 years I'd been eating a cupcake made by someone I'd never met, and it tasted like something real, and I wanted to know where real things came from." Eleanor reached under the counter. She opened the tin box. She set the silver coin on the wood between them. The 22 was still clear on its face, the dent from the old pistol ball still there on the edge. "Happy birthday," she said. Wesley looked at it for a long moment. "The lucky one?" "The luckiest one I have." He didn't pick it up immediately. He considered it the way he considered everything worth considering, carefully, without hurry. Outside, the birds had started their noise in the trees along the road. Greystone was waking up the way it always did, slowly, without drama, at its own pace. Eleanor Baker, for the first time in 20 years, did not feel like the only person in house number 22. That is not a small thing. After 20 years of early mornings and that bell above an empty door, that is not a small thing at all. If you stayed all the way to the end, thank you. Leave a comment and tell me what town you're listening from tonight. I read every single one. And if you haven't subscribed yet, there is a new story on the trail every week. The next one is already almost ready. I'll see you there.